Okay, namaskaram. Namaskar. Uh, Now I am going to today we will see how the chart normally is read. Okay, so normally we read it in different models. Okay, traditionally when you talk about we see the chart and then we see the lagna. Then most of them are Rasi related. They see the Rasi and then they say this is how it is and they start predicting the chart. Okay, they start analyzing the chart, uh, and we all know that most of the time the reading that comes as is most of them it is 50-50%. Okay, we say this is Dasa Bhukti, it should happen, and it turns out that it does not. It does not happen the way we perceived it. Okay, so why it has not perceived it? We have very little clue on that. Okay, we have very little clue on why it has not perceived. So why after the incident is done, we all can give 110 reasons why it did not happen. Okay, so there are many reasons for it. Okay, so why it did not happen? There are many reasons for it. We really don't know. Okay, we really don't know what are the combinations that are possible. Okay, there are thousands. Excuse me. There are thousands of possibilities that are there in a chat. So when I was learning in the early days, the focus was whether it is KP, whether it is traditional way of reading. Okay. Dasa Bhukti used to be the most predominantly used factor for timing of the event. Okay, even in Nadi, we will pick up the Dasa Bhukti and then we will say this thing. Though the Lagna, we pick up Guru as for the male and female, we pick up Venus and then we start putting. But Dasa Bhukti seems to be the backbone of the timing of the event. Okay, this has been there for a millennium, from the day that we all can think of. Okay, so there are two types of things that are there in the chart which are very important. Okay, which is one is the lagna, which most of them don't give so much of importance to when they are reading the chart. Another one is the rasi, and that is where the moon is there. So people give a lot of importance to the moon, and that is what Dasa Bhukti is also is used as the base. That is the foundation for it. Okay, so once it is used, then that is what creates your Dasa Bhukti. Okay. So supposing you are born in Kritika Nakshatra. Okay. So if you are born in Kritika Nakshatra, your first Dasa will be Sun. Okay. So then the second Dasa will obviously will be Moon Dasa because next will be Rohini. So when we talk like that, all the Dasa Bhuktis will change. Suppose you are born in Mula, the first nakshatra will be Ketu will be your first Dasa. Okay, and where exactly your Lagna falls. Okay, from that we will calculate if we say if we somewhere in between some Ketu from Mula second pada somewhere. So you will take almost like half of the this thing time we will calculate 7 years, right? So we'll divide the 7 years for that four pada and we'll pick up where it falls and then we'll say remaining so many periods are there for this Dasa Bhukti for this life. So then there are two things, right? One is Lagna, the other one is your moon. These two are what is same. Wherever that is called Rashi. So Lagna, for many of us, since we are not so, we don't emphasize much on Lagna. So for them, it is like Lagna is our physical presence. Okay, wherever the Lagna falls, tells us the physical composition of ours. Okay, so my if I say my lagna, then I am like this because the lagna creates that character on that. Okay. Similarly, you are will wherever your lagna falls, that's how you will be. Okay. Some people are will maintain the product as it is new. Okay. So I am among them. Okay. You give me anything, I will maintain it. Okay. And some people are there, you give them the brand good new thing, and within a short period of time, they'll make it look old. Some people are good in keeping their rooms spick and span. Okay, they are known to be some kind of syndrome where they keep on cleaning the house. Okay, that is one kind of character. Another kind of character will be the room will be like a mess, right? No, they'll have all the clothes thrown away. Nothing will be good. Okay, so that's it. So these all are indications. Okay. So when you see from the lagna, you can see all these characters. You can also see from moon also how their mental status is, why they will not keep the room clean. Okay. You can see that. Uh, so why we are born? What is lagna? In one point, lagna is when you are born. Okay, lagna is basically when you are born. At that particular time, wherever the sun was rising, that point is taken as lagna. Okay, that happens to be the entry point of your soul into your body. So it is soul is sun, right? So we pick up from that. Okay. So when you that point is very very important. Okay, now coming to the usage of that lagna, we don't have a timing measurement for that lagna. Okay, we do have for Rasi because Dasa Bhukti we can measure the timing. For lagna we don't have a timing measurement. This is where ALP, right, Pududu Murthy sir has made a major discovery. Okay, then he made a concept called as Akshaya Lagna Padhati. Okay, when you talk about Akshaya Lagna Padhati, it talks about growth of the lagna. Okay, so it is like a growth of the lagna. So growth of the lagna, when you talk about the lagna that is there, normally, supposing it is born in Ashwini, first pada. Okay, if it is born, if somebody is born in Ashwini, first pada. So then what happens is, then we will see, normally what they will do is they will see the moon where it is. Okay, assuming the moon is also there in the Ashwini first pada. Okay, Lagna and Moon are in the same pada. Okay. So if that is the combination, then his first Dasa Bhukti will be Ketu. Okay. And then what happens is that is where Ketu, when the Dasa Bhuktis are moving on, it will move on, right? After a couple of years from the Ketu, it will move to the Bharani Nakshatra, which will be your Venus. After the Venus, it will go into Sun. So after Sun, it will go into the Moon. So this will be the what you call the method or the way it will move on. But the Lagna is still staying there. Okay, but we are physically growing. Okay, mentally it is showing the pattern there. Physically, whatever is happening to us is not being tracked properly. Okay, and this is where Akshaya Lagna Paddhati comes into a particularly very useful tool. Okay, the concept is very useful. And we have to thank Mr. Padodi Murthy for that, for bringing this idea to the public. Okay, so what happens is this particular like this thing is when you talk about this lagna moving. So how do you move it? Okay, so that is where the challenge comes in. We what we do is we pick up 360 degrees of that circle of our zodiac that is there. And we also pick up the Dasa Bhuktis. Okay, Dasa Bhukti, when you look at it, it is 120 years. Okay, so if I divide this 12 houses by Dasa Bhukti, so I will get 10 years per house, right? So then, and when I further divide, I want to further look into it because I'm getting 10 years of block. Okay. So then when I further divide it into by 9 planets, which happens to be the tools by which everything gets organized and moved. So they have different responsibility, and they form the characteristics of a chart. Right. So then what happens is when you divide by 9, so you get, if you divide 10 by 9, okay, so you get 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days. Okay, 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days when you divide by 9. So when I say 9, I'm only taking all the regular 9 planets, which includes Rahu and Ketu. I'm not talking about the other planet. There are a lot of new concepts of taking about Uranus and nothing. We are not considering them. We are only considering up to the 9 planets that is traditionally mentioned in this. So when we divide with that, we get 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days for the 10 years per Rasi. So 1 year, 1 month, and 10. When if you notice it, in one house zodiac, we have 9 padas. Generally, 2.5 stars. 9 padas are there. So when 9 padas are there, what you do is when you divide by 9, so 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days, what you do is you after 1 year, 1 month, 10 days, you move the pada from, supposing it was an Ashwini 1, it moves into the Ashwini 2. That one pada is increased. So you start seeing the chart from second pada, not from the first pada. Okay. Similarly, if 10 years is over, okay, if the kid is grown 10 years physically he grows a lot, right? Change, lot of changes, physical changes, everything. He's so dependent on the parents all in the first 10 years. After that, he becomes independent, right? He can eat, he can even work, he can do all those things he can do. So when he does that, he moves into the second house. If I'm saying he's moving into the Taurus house, okay, after 10 years, he's moving into Taurus house. When he moves into the Taurus house, when we start reading the chart from Taurus, the entire Lagna is changed, right? So, and you start seeing chart in a very, very different perspective. So that 10 years is going to tell us something about it. Okay. So like that, we will go till his end of this life of this person. So timing of the event has become more precise because of the Lagna gate also being moved. There are even more in-depth division of time. We go up to 10 minutes. Even further we can go, but 10 minutes is fairly good amount of time to see. So the beauty about this is we are not ignoring any one of the traditional methods, okay, or the models. We're just moving the Lagna into, so some call it progression, okay, Lagna progression, okay. We have seen sun progression, planet, different progressions, but Lagna progression or ascendant progression we have not seen with it. What happened with us is when we started reading, okay, when we started reading chart with this particular concept, okay, some years back, 5, 6 years back, what we found out that it was excellent. The reading was excellent. Okay, we just couldn't believe ourselves by the results that we get. Okay, so when we talked about something that happened in our own life at that particular time, and when we saw those readings matching with the ALP Lagna's timing, it was mind blowing. Okay, so it was mind blowing, and that gave us the clue about how LP is more useful in reading chart. Okay, there are so many people who have learned it. See, again, end of the day, whether it is any astrology or any subject for that matter, okay, it's a art. Okay, so some people have a very good talent in writing programs, right? So it's a art. So the same program is taught to everybody, right? If it's a C programmer, they give them the same program to everybody, but there is that particular guy who's got a knack to write the program in a much better fashion. Same is the factor with the others. So if you talk about what you call a priest in a temple or a father in a church, the way they conduct is the art. Okay, the temple. Okay, some people conduct it's art, right? So teachers, everybody knows history, everybody knows chemistry, everybody knows maths, but the way they teach is a art. Okay, similar goes with astrology also. Though everybody knows the rule, it is fairly straightforward and everything else, but reading the chart is basically a art. Okay, so with the art of this thing, only then you will be able to what you call you will be able to process this thing, analyze this thing, and then you will be able to read the chart properly. Okay, so when if you have noticed my channel, I have put lot of first step that I did was I put a lot of nakshatras series. Okay, I think I have reached up to Sarvana nakshatra. I still have left with a couple of more nakshatras that I have to finish. I will finish that also. When you read the nakshatras, you understand how they behave. Okay, then when you look at the where the LP Lagna is falling, say sometimes it will be in Mula, for some people it will be in Ashwini, some people it will be in Bharani, for some people it will be in Hasta. We don't know in which one whose chart it will be there. When it falls there, then that characteristics will reflect during that period. Okay, that is the beauty. So you can move into different houses, for example. Okay, for you move into a different houses. The house combination, the way the house will be there when you move in, especially good for rental people, will be indicated in the chart. If I will, I have said your house will be painted from outside. It will be white in color. It will be old. The house will be old. It will be new house. What you will move in. Okay, the Vastu will be like this. Okay, so we'll say, okay, then all these things are there in the chart. And generally, when you talk about Vastu, what we have seen is the northeastern direction they might have a toilet. Okay, where in the hand they might be having a lot of disease, challenges, cancer, and all those things will come into that house. Northeast side when you have a toilet, and this is most of the time you will see that. Okay, you can see you can just pick up any chart, cancer chart, talk to him and see where is your this thing. And most of the places where the kitchen is in the in the northern side, though it's facing east in the north side, you will find towards the north. Okay, it is there, but facing they might be cooking facing east, but the kitchen is located in the north. In fact, most of the people who are there in working in the kitchen will be prone to diabetics. Okay, there even if they have diabetic, it will go up. Okay, these are some vastu defects that will enhance us and shows that. Okay, this is personal experience also that we have gone through. We have seen that thing it happens. So there's some correlation with, and especially when the LP Lagna falls, you can see very clearly. Okay, this is the physical thing that is going to happen to you. Okay. So when mentally challenged kids, when you also see, you see the house combination is like that. I always ask, especially when it comes to mentally challenged kid. So I ask them, say, excuse me, where is your kitchen? Where is your hall and things like that. So they will tell me this is how it is. And predominantly, I found that when they have moved into that house and Lagna is there, and if this thing is main door is in the Agnimula, their house always there is somebody coming for a fight. The neighbor comes for fight and all those things. So these are all things you can also notice. If your house main door is in the Agnimula, then there will be some kind of a quarrel that keeps on happening. Keeps on happening. The next door neighbor will come. Somebody will come and fight. Okay, so that is the case of. So when the house is facing north, okay, so you will see a lot of intellectual things coming into the house. A lot of books, reading, knowledge, astrology. Kids will learn well. All those things, and that will coordinate with the LP Lagna. For people who don't know where to go and look for that LP Lagna, you can download the free app is there. In that they will give you the LP Lagna where it falls. From that you will be able to because you don't have to sit and calculate 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days each pada and go. You can do. There are advanced applications which is paid software, but you can start off with the free app that should be giving you the LP Lagna, which will tell you which nakshatra is. Then you should be able to, if you have good knowledge about nakshatra, you should be able to fairly, you should be able to assess that because I've been studying this LP from astrology from 1986. If we're talking about ALP, it is almost 6 years, and still learning. Okay, that's a vast subject, right? Still learning, and the accuracy of the reading seems to be every day coming up very well. So, if I show you, if you want to really see when the marriage is going to happen, you need to see, 1, 4, 7, 10 houses will match. Okay, the D9 of that nakshatra will match. Then the marriage will happen. If you see somebody will ask us, will I get a job? Okay, so we will see from the 10,000 whether the will happen now or whether it has already happened and you are waiting for it. It is likely to happen, or it is uh, it is there in the future. Okay, these three things we can see from the chart. Okay, we call it mother's. It is defined as, so it's a personal, my own karma, mother's karma and father's karma. So when it comes to my karma, it is myself, present thing that I'm doing. When it's mother, it is the past. When it comes to father, we represent it as the future karma. And we are able to decipher all the events based on that. And the results are surprisingly very accurate when we read the chart. And even when we try to read the past, also it is so accurate. Okay. The best thing that has happened to astrology so far. So this is what is the timing event. So timing of the event. One, you look from the Dasa Bhukti, that is the traditional way. In this, we look at the LP Lagna that is moving from one house to the other. And one pada wise, it will keep on moving. And that each pada is further divided because 1 year, 1 month, 10 days happens to be quite some time. And when you divide further by 9, it can go up to 10 minutes, or even though 10 minutes is what the application stops. And if you want, you can still divide and go. Excuse me. So what happens is I will be able to tell you 45 days, 15, 14 days, 11 days. I can tell you 5 days. I can tell you a couple of minutes what will happen. Okay. And since we have the beautifully divided concept of the time into very manageable small chunks, okay, in the name of ALP, Lagna, Padas and other things on. What happens is we don't have to look at the entire chart and excuse me, mess our head. So it is compartmentalized and given into a manageable chunk. So if you concentrate on that, you will get the answer for that particular question that the people have been asking. Okay, so it's so what that's the impressive part of this particular method. Okay, so when what you can do is you can if you want any specific questions or something else, you can comment on the video, so that if you want, no, then probably what I will do is I will read that and I will respond to you in my next live session. So next it will be mostly based on the questions that you ask. I will add that and I will make the video. So that's how I will do that. And I think I've done enough. Half an hour has gone for the day. So this has been my second live streaming that I try to do. I have a little bit of difficulty in the network here, but I guess I'll improve that. Maybe the service provider has to improve. I see there is always a drop in the what I call it, in the bandwidth. I can't help much, but I'll see what I can do best to improve that service. Okay, so thanks for watching. I wish you have a great week ahead. And any questions, do comment. And we will see you in the next live. Okay, thank you. Namaskaram. Have a great day. Bye bye.